Hello and good morning. It's Phil Thatch and I've just arrived at the Ozone Falls State Natural Area here in Tennessee. It's about an hour and a half drive from my house and I'm really excited. This is my second time coming here, only my second time. I came last December. It was actually snowing just a little bit that day, but today it is late August. So it's been 8 or 9 months since I've been here. And this is the first time I've ever been here when it's warm outside. I was kind of worried that there was going to be a lot of people here, but I'm the only one so far. Not a huge amount of flow today. There has been a pretty good bit of rain over the last week or so, but none in the last 2 or 3 days. And I'm at the top of the falls right now. And you can see right over here is where it spills over the side. It's a 110-foot drop, and I'm going to put this little camera on a tripod and kind of stick it out over there so you can see the fall from up here. It's just beautiful out in that direction, and this is a beautiful little canyon. And I'm going to get this clip really quick and then climb down. Well, that was pretty cool. Now let's see if I can get down to the bottom of this thing. The thing about waterfalls is they're usually around some pretty rough terrain. So getting to a good spot for a photograph usually involves scaling some sort of mess like this. Here we go. Well, I'm getting a little bit closer to the falls. You know, you start out at the top right at it, and then you have to walk in the opposite direction for quite a ways before you can start going down. And now I'm finally back to where I can see the falls. All right. I've got my camera set up right here on this little ledge. You can see I'm really close to taking a little tumble there with the camera, and I'm going to kind of do the same shot that I did last time I was here. And last time I was here, I had my Fujifilm X-T3, and today I'm using my Nikon Z. But the funny thing is I'm using the exact same lens. This is my old ultra-wide for APS-Cs. This is the Tokina 11-16. It's an f2.8 lens. Of course, I'm not going to be shooting at 2.8 with it today. And I have a circular polarizer on. I'm going to shoot at 11 millimeters, which is 16.5 millimeters full frame equivalent. And right now I've got my exposure dialed in for 2 seconds, f8, ISO 100, 2-second timer. And there we go. Now if I take a look at the shot, I can see that I have some blinkies in a few spots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop down a little bit. I'm going to stop down to f11. That puts me at 1 2/3 stops underexposed the way the camera's metering, but I don't want any blinkies. So let's try again. If there's blinkies, it's, you know, you can't always recover overexposed highlights, but you can usually pull shadows. So I tend to underexpose to get rid of those blinkies. Well, here I am back at home in the studio interrupting my on location video, and I want to show you a couple things that I didn't document while I was in the field. First of all, when I made that shot that I showed you me making, I couldn't understand why my camera was overexposing so much. I mean, I was manually exposing and I had the exposure minus some, and it still looked way too bright, and I had left my exposure compensation dial at plus 1 1/3 stop. So here's a tip for you. If you do need to move your exposure compensation dial, put it back on 0 when you get done shooting, and then when you're trying to adjust your exposure, even when you're doing it manually, that will adjust how the exposure compensation dial does. I also want to talk to you just a little bit more about this lens. This is a Tokina 11-16 f2.8 lens. It has a 77 millimeter filter thread, which is great. All my filters are 77s. I bought this lens back in May of 2013, and I still use it. I considered selling it for a while because I was kind of doing mostly full frame, but I really enjoy shooting with APS-C, and this is a brilliant ultra wide lens for APS-C. Now this lens is a screw drive autofocusing lens, which means it will not autofocus on the FTZ adapter, but it will send you EXIF data. It will let you control the aperture from the camera, and look, it's got a clutch. When you manually focus it, you just pull this whole ring down, and then you can focus it manually, which if you're doing landscape photography, you're probably going to be manually focusing anyway. So that makes this lens great for the ZFC camera, I think. I made a clip with my final exposure while I was in the field, but I failed to press record on my little DJI Osmo Action that I was vlogging with that day. So I ended up shooting at f11, 1 second ISO 100 from the exact location that I showed you a moment ago. Back to Ozone Falls. All right, well, just looking at the back of the camera, I'm really happy with that first shot. So let's take a look at that now. Well, that was worth the drive all the way to Rockwood, Tennessee. Look at that beautiful canyon with Ozone Falls falling 110 feet. Not a really high flow day, but I thought it was just absolutely beautiful. And I may have to try to come back here again maybe in the fall and see what it looks like with more color on those leaves. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to get to the bottom of the falls kind of over there, which I think you can do it straight this way, but I think it's probably easier to climb back up a little bit and then go down. So I don't think I'm going to be able to beat that first shot, but I still want to do some more photography while I'm here. There's almost kind of a staircase here right by this huge fallen tree as I make my way down to the base of the falls. I'm pretty sure this area that I'm attempting to walk around in right now is underwater during higher flows. But right now, it's, I don't want to call it dry, but it's definitely not underwater. Yeah, last time I came here, that pool was much higher. I guess there was a lot more flow at that point, and these rocks are still wet because, like I say, about a week ago it rained a lot here. But I may try to get a shot from here. Even though I'm a pretty good ways from the base of the falls, I can feel the mist getting on me, which means it'll also get on my lens. Well, I'm not alone anymore. There's a gentleman up there where I made my shot a minute ago. He came down and made a cell phone shot and is heading out, it looks like. And I really think where I made that shot from is the best place. It's just not good down here, so I don't think I'm even going to take a shot. So I really appreciate you joining me here at Ozone Falls. Sorry there's only one shot, but the one shot was really good. So I'm happy with the one shot, and I think I'll try to come back here again maybe in the fall and maybe when there's a little bit of more flow and tackle it again. But for today, I'm going to call that it. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up really helps the channel out. And if you want to see some, whoa, don't fall, Phil. If you want to see some more stuff like this, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that mess. And as always, don't fall. As always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.